Another week in the NFL, another Chiefs win. This time, just bizarre. Went on a blocked field goal kick at the end, but it's the Chiefs. That's what they do. They battle through adversity. They always come out like the Lions. The Lions overcame adversity, or 5 interceptions, whatever you really want to call that. They overcame it in the way. We discussed that. We discussed what is going on in Chicago. Was it really Justin Fields' fault? Probably not. We also talk about Debo Samuel, what's been going on with San Francisco. So we give our picks, we give our power rankings. We also have a special guest star, a local high school football coach from Georgia, Russell Wilson, joined us. It was a great time. If you like what we're doing, please don't forget to like and subscribe to us. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Give us a listen. Welcome back to the number one local sports podcast in Central Florida. This is Sandlot Sports. I am Adam Capperson. I'm here with Dorian Cody.
Yes, sir.
And BJ Thomas.
So you've gone from Sanford in Lake County to Central Florida now.
We are expanding.
Sure.
We have a special guest star this week. We have Russell Wilson, but not that Russell
Hello.
Wilson.
I'm the real one.
Real deal.
Were you here first? Are you older than Russ?
No. He's older than me.
Damn it, he was there first.
Yeah.
So I will admit when I'm wrong, because I am wrong a lot. I forgot just how incompetent Daniel Jones was.
Well, who's the idiot?
He went to Duke. Duke
Yes.
is smart, right?
No, I'm talking Adam's the idiot for overestimating Daniel Jones after 3-4 years of evidence.
Yeah,
solid evidence.
I do remember last year when we were picking the season, Mr. Thomas over there was like, well, he's got Brian Dable out there who'd be good. And I was like,
no, I said if he can't do it now, he will never do it.
And he will never do it.
That's what I said. Don't you?
He hasn't done it for like 6 years.
Don't you try to make me say that. I said he's got Saquon Barkley, Brian Daboll, and Kenny Golladay. If he cannot do it now, he will never do it. And he's never going to do it.
No.
There will be no Sam Darnold resurrection here.
No. I just thought it was so funny. He came off that one season where he took the Giants to the playoffs, and everybody was like, oh, Daniel Jones, he's good to know. It's like, that was the one year that Barkley was healthy.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, man. I picked his over on passing yards yesterday, and Jacksonville's ranked 30th in passing defense. That's how bad he is, man. You got elite neighbors.
I've created a list of players I will not prop bet on. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is one of mine.
Hey, he's done. He's been done. I was like, the first week Tua back and he got 2 targets. I was like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
The honeymoon is over.
Him.
Jalen Hurts is one of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Deion Coleman's one of them. Amari Cooper. Any Chiefs wide receiver.
Yep.
No prop bets. You'll get none.
Nope.
Chiefs running back, that's been dead for like 4 years.
Yes.
Shit.
They use like 6 of them.
And you never know which one's going to start.
I think I saw Andy Reid carrying the ball last week.
Man, I thought Pacheco had some promise.
Well, if he got, what, he tear his knee up, I think?
Yeah, I think he's coming back this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
When he's
That's
in
good
there,
for
he's
them.
the dude. There's no doubt.
Kareem Hunt started off hot, but I feel like he's just been taking a beating, and he just kind of, slowly went downhill.
Let him punch a chick. He'll get back. He'll get his mojo back.
Oh, God.
Not that we advocate for that.
I'm not saying advocate. I'm just saying he was at his best when he was hitting women. It's like the lead singer from Stone Temple Pilots when he was doing heroin. That's when he was at his best. This can be uncomfortable. This can be uncomfortable. You can laugh at me and shake heads. These are all truths. These are all truths.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong. It might not be comfortable. It's definitely not comfortable. Stone Temple Pilots, that man got sober. That band sucked. He started doing heroin again. And voila, like magic, the band is wonderful.
Yeah, I remember it was like 2007, 2008, a coworker of mine, and she was like, I got tickets to go see Stone Temple Pilots. I'm like, ain't no one want to see Scott Weiland sober.
Bring a needle. It's uncomfortable, but it's true.
It's
and
true.
We're here for truth.
Yes, that's what we deliver.
This is why Dorian doesn't interact with us throughout the week because he's scared his hick employees will fucking find out what this podcast is really about.
Look, man, I can
Beating women and heroin.
confirm or deny. But
No, his problem is like he doesn't want to look at the group chat during the weekend while he's at work.
I think you played a video that I sent you and you knew better. You knew you shouldn't. And I think didn't you do that during a meeting or something? Or
yeah, I did.
yeah. Dumbass.
That's why I don't do it anymore. Because you guys be setting my shit up. I'm like, what is this?
Bro, it has been well known since I've been in high school. One, don't put me on speakerphone. And two, don't look at anything I send you unless you're sitting in your car. I don't know why this is so complicated.
I made the mistake of putting BJ on the hands free in like the van one time with the kids in the back.
Kids were like,
Yeah, I said, oh shit, are your kids there? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge.
No, I learned
And
my
speaking
lesson.
of don't do it, don't bet against Patrick Mahomes losing the game.
Who did that?
I don't know.
Did you?
No, he's the underdog this week, but it wasn't last week when they almost lost to Bo Nix.
I will tell you this. I would not bet on the Chiefs to win a game for the rest of the season because they aren't going to go undefeated.
No.
And so if I understand the way my betting works, when I do bet the Chiefs to win, that will be the day they lose.
Yeah, that's
That's how it always is.
Yeah, exactly, right? All right. So it's not just me.
Yeah.
So maybe we should all bet on the Chiefs this Sunday and just get it out of the way.
Yeah, just knock it out of
Put
the way.
put $1 on them, let it go, just get it over with.
Hey, they're underdogs.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Buffalo.
Ooh,
Buffalo.
that's always a spicy game.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. It'll be a blast to watch.
In Buffalo, too.
That's a good one.
So you got the Chiefs somehow blocking a field goal to win a game, and the Lions overcoming Goff's shittiness. No other way to put that. And the 2 field goals that Jake Bates made, literally, like, I think they skimmed the uprights.
Selling bricks.
Them bricks.
Yeah, they were close. Do y'all know, what did Pat Mahomes say to the ref on the sideline when they were doing that field goal?
Checks
I
in
saw
the
that
mail.
going around.
Checks in the mail.
Oh gosh, I wish I could remember. He said something. Let me see if I can figure it out. But it was like something crazy.
He was joking for the ref to let them know when the defensive lineman was close.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Now, here's my question. So if you believe the conspiracy that the NFL wants the Chiefs to win, is it for Patrick Mahomes or is it for Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why people get so butthurt about her coming to the games.
Like, they show her, like, maybe a total of, like, 30 seconds. And the sad reality, the people that are upset that Taylor Swift is at the games are the people that are going to be upset about anything in their life. They're just people that hate life and need to go away.
I think they're mad that a woman took control of her career and became a billionaire and they aren't.
Yep.
The NFL loves Taylor Swift at the game. More eyes.
Well, the NFL loves Taylor Swift's fan base watching their games.
Right.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Money.
That's what they love.
Yeah,
If
Viewership
Taylor's-
and money.
Yeah, exactly. If Taylor Swift's fans weren't watching the game, they would not give a flying shit about her showing up.
No.
At all.
But that, I mean, it's increased viewership. I think it's like 15-20% this year.
I'm surprised she's not doing.
Can you
Super Bowl
imagine
halftime.
all the guys around the United States that are all of a sudden having to explain football to the woman that didn't give a shit about football for the previous 10 years of their relationship, and now they have to be like, "That's a first down. What's a down? Jesus Christ!
Exactly. Field goal. It's a
I'm going to smoke a
touchdown.
joint. Leave me alone."
Oh.
So I do have a question for you guys. So in Chicago last year, everything was Justin Fields' fault. He was the problem with the offense. Now, he left, and they still suck.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the offensive coordinator they just fired after only 10 months? Or is it the head coach who should have been fired last year?
I mean, it's the Bears organization. They just scrap everything above the quarterback.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why they even kept Eberflus. So like, they knew what they were getting with.
I had a
Like,
Bears fan tell me that their defense was great the last few games of the season because the other teams didn't give a shit.
right. Exactly. They were
Not a Bears fan I know, is it?
No,
Okay. He's usually not that dumb. He's goofy, not dumb. There's a difference.
he is a Bears fan though.
Yeah, but well, you were a Lions fan until the last couple of years. I mean, so like, let's not get all high and mighty all of a sudden because you finally had 2 winning seasons back to back for the first time since before my first kiss.
Mhm.
Damn.
I was watching Full House the last time that shit happened. The original fucking Full House.
Yeah,
But
I'm
that's
a
where I
Bears-
mean,
I'm a Lions
just
fan.
how
I get to be all sedity now.
how the Bears are not that good. It all stems from leadership, right? Like the Lions, Campbell, like they've continuously put the pieces together, man, and it shows. Like those players are buying into that philosophy.
But they can't
So
hire a coach.
no.
So it's got to be
who the
it's got to be
Bears?
the
Yeah, oh
administration's
yeah,
got to be jacked up. So it goes all the way up to the owner, in my opinion, because they've had
yeah.
opportunities to
GM.
replace coaches. Yeah, absolutely. GM, president of football operations, whoever's up there, it goes all the way to the top because they've had they've replaced coaches, 3 in the last few years, right?
Hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think this year was the first year they didn't replace him.
Nagy, Eberflus, who was before Nagy?
Gase.
Gase.
Yeah.
So there's 3 of them right there in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That goes all the way to the top.
And to that point, I mean that's why Detroit has been able to turn around. Yes, Campbell has been a great motivation in the locker room, but Quinn has been able to draft players that fit their scheme. To BJ's point, it's top down. If you are quality at the top, you start building the way down.
The Bears are an exploded Jerry Jones, where Jerry Jones is one in everything. Bears are several pieces that equal Jerry Jones.
Ooh. Yeah.
Minus
That-
the marketing.
That's some insight right there.
I felt good about that.
But they have scored one offensive touchdown since they got back from London 3 weeks ago.
Jeez, that is so bad.
With a #1 overall pick as a quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, their offense is not bad. I mean, you got Adunzo, you have Moore, you have Komet, you have Swift. I mean, you have good players.
You're
It
talking about
doesn't-
guys that would all be top 10 in their position in fantasy football on any other competent franchise.
It doesn't matter if your quarterback's constantly on his ass.
Exactly.
Going back to Dorian's coach prime, the reason why they've been better this year, they beefed up the offensive and defensive line. You build from the inside out. It's been that way since the dawn of time.
That's the way you win football is control the line of scrimmage. Everything else will fall in. You don't have to have a two #1 wide receivers, or you don't have to have a bunch of money tied up in wide receivers and tight ends if you can block.
Yeah. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. And you don't have to have a $50-60 million tied up in cornerbacks if you can rush the passer.
Yep.
That's true.
It's not complicated.
Football's not complicated. Run the football, break the line of scrimmage, control the line of scrimmage, run the football, and get off the field in 3 downs.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
If you can run the ball at 4 yards consistently, 4 yards a clip, you will score touchdowns.
Yeah. And
And
wear out a defense. Everything's going to get easier as the game goes on.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing that gets lost. Everyone wants to throw the ball, up and down the field. If you can consistently run the ball, by the fourth quarter, the defense is gassed, and yours isn't.
That's what drives you nuts about the Jets. You can't block for Aaron Rodgers, so you have to use play action. To use play action, you have to run Brees Hall. So how about you try running Brees Hall?
He was supposed to be a #1 fantasy running back.
Yeah. That hurt a lot of people.
Yeah. But
I mean, you wonder why the Eagles, Steelers, Ravens, Detroit, they're all good. They can run the ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, let's
And it
just,
doesn't even have to be the special clip like the Ravens. Like the
No.
Ravens, run the football at an exceptional rate. Doesn't have to be like that. Like Adam said, 3.5, 4 yards a carry, game over. It's gonna be a long day, and especially as the weather gets colder. If you play up north outside, running the football is the way to win football games.
So here's the league standings in rushing yards per game. Okay, tell me when I get to a bad team. Baltimore, Philly, Green Bay, Washington. Green Bay?
Green Bay's questionable.
Okay. Washington, San Francisco.
Well, I will say San Francisco's got a pretty average record for a team that can run the football because they were running the football with Jordan Mason.
Yep. And they just got McCaffrey back.
Right, but I'm saying, regardless of that, they were still.
But Mason's not. No, go ahead. My bad.
No, I'm just saying he was averaging like 80 yards a game.
Yeah, his average is 5.1 a carry.
Yeah, that's.
He's got almost 700 yards rushing.
And they're what, 5-4 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I don't want to say they're a bad team, but they aren't the 49ers they were the past couple of years.
No.
I saw Debo wearing those short shorts. Something's going on there. That was way too much thigh. Too much thigh.
Now, I did think it was funny that he gave extra motivation to Jake Moody to make his game-winning kick on Sunday.
What do you do?
Well, he held the long snapper by the neck in front of me.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Did y'all not see that? It was crazy.
I saw the picture of it, but I didn't understand. I didn't look at it to see what happened. I
Yeah,
didn't see
so
a video or anything.
Moody had just missed his third of the game. Debo goes up to him and starts tearing into him. The long snapper comes over to try to break it up. Debo grabs him by the neck, like Latrell Sprewell style. He cusses both of them out. Moody goes in there, kicks the game winner. And after the game, they asked Debo about it. He was like, yeah, I was giving him motivation.
I know you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I don't know what you're so happy about. You played at South Carolina. Calm down over there. Yep. Line of scrimmage, it's everything.
Yep. And again, it's been that way since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
So before we move on to our power rankings, BJ, during the break you brought up, I think it was Trayvon Walker from Jacksonville that was trying to punch the ball out of Aaron Jones to try to get a turnover late.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of missed.
No, he didn't miss. That was a bar fight. He'd be in jail.
Yeah.
So if I remember right, so I think Minnesota they were actually going to be short getting the first down. Had he just tackled him and not tried to punch the ball out, they would have gotten the ball back.
He tried to tackle his lip.
So, because it was only 12-7, which somehow, I mean, I think you said earlier, Sam Darnold is who we thought he was.
What do you mean?
He's not the great quarterback that he was in weeks 1 and 2.
He's doing okay, though.
He was 24 for 38, 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this past week. Against Jacksonville.
Where do you go to college? Georgia?
Sounds like it.
I couldn't help it. Everybody gets shots. Everybody gets shots. The Gators suck. The Cowboys
No,
suck.
dude.
Everybody's
I'm
gotta
with
get
you.
shots.
I'm with you. I'm not offended. It's just I can't. All you can do is be objective. They stink.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's where I am with the Gators. I don't even get hurt when people talk shit. It's just kind of like, yeah, they're terrible.
He's from the
Let me
quarterback
see.
University of USC.
Yeah, the great quarterback, University of USC. Ooh,
Yeah, I see that. 3
last
interceptions.
USC quarterback to go to the Super Bowl.
Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even. Oh, wow. No USC quarterback has ever played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't remember like the big names. But Matt Leinart.
Carson Palmer.
Yep.
I think okay.
Barkley.
Palmer's defense, he may have gotten there had his knee not exploded.
Well, come on, Adam. You wouldn't let me get away with that. You can't say dumb shit like that. You can't. I mean, if some butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
That is true.
But
I mean,
I got that from Slammin' Salmon. Have you ever seen that movie? That's a great movie.
yeah, but we say it all the time, like Alabama quarterbacks, like the last Alabama quarterback to make a Super Bowl.
Willie Joe Namath.
Yep.
Joe Willie Namath.
So it happens.
It's crazy how the NFL is though. Like, look at the quarterbacks that are doing good now. They're just from smaller schools, right? Texas Tech, Wyoming, freaking Ben Roethlisberger from Miami, Ohio.
There's no real quarterback factory. It doesn't
No.
exist.
Well, there is. It is called college football. But you have to let the cake bake in the oven before you pull it out.
Alabama quarterbacks had 50 years to bake in the oven and came up with one Super Bowl quarterback.
But most quarterbacks that come out of college play for 1, maybe 2 years.
You're talking about now.
Now,
Yeah, well, screw now. Historically, quarterbacks were developed, and USC and Alabama have not produced Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
No.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Notre Dame only has Joe Montana. There is
Joe
no
Theismann.
Joe
There's no
Theismann. There's two. So there's no quarterback factory. It doesn't exist. That's why it's the hardest position to recruit. Or not recruit, to draft. It's the hardest position to draft because there's no factory.
And it's sad because the school with the most Super Bowl wins has it because of one guy. And that's Michigan.
Well, you were waiting to drop that, weren't you? You feel better? How do you do when he was at Michigan?
Lloyd Carr wanted to bench him.
There
He
you
beat Alabama, though.
go. When Alabama wasn't Alabama.
Yeah, they hit Sean Alexander that year in the Orange Bowl.
But who else they have? Sean Alexander and Sean Alexander?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to run you 30 times. You'll be dead after this game, but you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're fine. You're young. You move on.
Yeah. But there's no factory. There's no school that produces good quarterbacks.
And why is that? Is that coaching? Is that just pump them through? Or like
It's the position that requires that it factor more than any other position. That intangible quality that athletic wide receivers get by all the time. Athletic wide receivers play for 8-9 years. But you have to have some intangible quality as a quarterback to be good. It's that it factor that everybody talks about.
I also, I think it's also coaching because
Ryan Fitzpatrick, because, well, I'm just saying, like, you could be smart. Ryan Fitzpatrick is one of the most intelligent NFL players ever. How'd that work out?
He had a lengthy career. He just wasn't a good starter.
He was slightly above average for the whole time.
Yeah.
And then you can be super athletic. How'd that work out for Mike Vick? Randall Cunningham. Above average. But not special. In the playoff Super Bowl aspect. You can have a cannon for an arm, but how'd that work out for Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah.
The it factor applies to quarterbacks more than any other position on the field. And I hate using that word because it's such an ESPN, like.
No, I disagree with that because ESPN is all about the tangibles. You know,
No, this is-
listen to him every month, every year. He can really spin it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, there's real magic. There's some kind of magic in identifying quarterbacks.
And I go back to the joke that Bill Polian always tells about when they were deciding between Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. I think I've told this, but I'll tell it again. Where his offensive coordinator and head coach were studying film constantly of both Leaf and Manning. They're trying to figure out who they would want. He walks in. Polian walks into the room and asks the offensive coordinator, like, what do you guys think? He's like, well, I really like Peyton, but he can't throw it more than 64 yards. Polian looks at him and goes, well, then don't call any plays where he has to throw it more than 64 yards. Pick Peyton Manning and move on.
There you go. But that's what great coaching does, is it coaches to the abilities of their players.
Yep.
That's great coaching.
Yeah.
But honestly, let's go back in time. Let's think just about the people you can remember. Who has been able to consistently pick quarterbacks? Usually, after a good a quarterback that makes multiple playoff runs, wins playoff games, maybe makes it to a Super Bowl, there's a dead zone in that franchise afterwards.
There's only been one team that I can think of right offhand that's been able to be consistent with their quarterbacks.
It's the Packers.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
it.
And I will tell you why. I don't
And
think
they got lucky. They got lucky with Favre.
Yeah, because they didn't draft him.
No, they traded for him from the Falcons.
Yep. But I think the Packers model, not just the drafting piece, but they make their quarterbacks sit.
You keep harping on that though, but other teams have done that when we were younger, and it still didn't have those results. That might be the best course of action, but it's still not guaranteed to produce multiple playoff wins or a Super Bowl run.
Just because it's not guaranteed does not mean it doesn't increase the odds.
How long did Brady sit for?
He sat for, I think it was he came. Did he come in his rookie year or was it the second year? I forget.
I'm not sure, but it was pretty close to his rookie year. It was probably less than 20 games he sat for.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work for everybody. But most franchises, when they have a quarterback that has multiple playoff runs and maybe a Super Bowl run, there's a dead zone because it's the hardest position to figure out by a long shot.
Yeah.
By a long shot.
And it's not just having that quarterback; it's also having the infrastructure around them, especially when they first come into the league. I was talking to a buddy of mine about Trevor Lawrence, not to pick on Dorian too much, but he was supposed to be this can't miss prospect. But he comes in, Urban Meyer is his coach his rookie year, and basically destroys him.
But I would say you can't properly analyze Trevor Lawrence at any level because he's been surrounded by an all-star team his whole football career.
That is fair.
And that doesn't happen in the NFL.
No, but where I was going with that was, is there a quarterback that you guys can think of, because I couldn't think of one, that came in, sucked his rookie year so bad, he had his head coach and offensive coordinator fired, and was able to turn around and have a successful career?
Troy Aikman. Oh, did Jimmy Jones draft him?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson might have drafted him, so I don't know if that's accurate. But he went one. Yeah, no, he did, because Jimmy Johnson went 1-15 his first year with the Cowboys. So
Yeah, and that was with Aikman. Yep.
That was with Aikman.
Because I was thinking Manning. Manning had a horrible first year, but Moore was with them for 4 years before they got Dungy.
Yeah, I don't know. Not that I can think of offhand.
And I think, again, doesn't guarantee anything, but it increases your odds of being successful if you have good infrastructure in place.
I would say, honestly, if you look through history, one of the best at picking quarterbacks and making them successful is Andy Reid. He's got McNabb, Alex Smith, and Mahomes.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody who's got a track record like that.
And again, it's infrastructure. It's coaching.
Now look at Shanahan. Shanahan had success with Elway, Greasy, and Plummer, and Alex Smith. So maybe Shanahan's a second?
What about Bill Walsh?
Boy, that was good drafting. That was really good drafting. And then Bill Walsh did what every coach should do. He tailored his offense to Joe Montana.
Yeah. And then
Joe Montana took it and ran with it.
and then when Young came in, he switched things around.
Honestly, I don't know if he did. I think Steve Young was just like, "Oop, this place sucks. I'm leaving."
Okay.
I'm leaving.
That's fair.
But yeah, I can't think offhand of any coach that's been more successful with quarterbacks than Andy Reid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So like Green Bay's had multiple coaches.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like yeah, I don't see it.
It's a good thought experiment. But let's move on to our power rankings.
Good, my brain hurts.
Good.
Yeah.
So, BJ, who's your number one team?
Chefs. I mean, I don't know if Russell's heard. I don't know if he gets to listen or not, but we've been saying when you don't play your best football and you can continuously win games, that speaks a lot to your whole football team.
Yep.
They have not played their best football and they're still 10-0.
Dorian? Sorry, who was that, Dorian?
The Chiefs.
Okay, Russell, who's your number one team?
I'll say Chiefs too.
Yeah, well,
Because sometimes they don't look great, but I mean, dude, just Pat Mahomes knows how to win, man. He has that it factor that you were just talking about. He just knows how to finish the game. That's yeah.
Yeah, finish the game, whatever that takes. A game-winning drive or managing the clock, he does it all.
Yep.
He does everything.
BJ, who's your number two?
This is where it gets tricky. I guess I'm going to go with the Bills for now. And this will set up for a great matchup this weekend. Can't wait.
Dorian, number two.
Two's going to be the Detroit Lions.
Goes back to BJ's point. Don't play your best and still find a way to win. You know, they were blowing teams out, made things look easy. Ran into Houston, their quarterback has an off game. That team never gave up. So, Russell, who's your number two pick?
Yeah, Lions. And I totally agree. I mean, so I don't know if they know, but I played football at Georgia Southern in college. And I was under Coach Willie Fritz. He's at Houston now. But dude, he would tell us a stat all the time in meetings about like how turnovers are so big. And like one of the stats was if you get 2 turnovers, your chances are at 90%. So if you can, get 2 picks, 2 fumbles, whatever it may be, your chances are at that. And so for the Lions to have 5 turnovers and still win that game, that says something about your team because that's like virtually impossible. So it's crazy. I think the Lions will be in the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
I hope so. But yeah, it says a lot because most teams, especially after that 5th one, when they were still down 23-7, throws that 5th one, most teams would be like, especially the defense, like, what the fuck are we doing? I mean, that's when you get the fights on the sidelines. They never wavered. And that is, I know I crapped on them for a while, but that's a testament to Dan Campbell.
Well, because none of them can whip Dan Campbell. They ain't going to fight on the sideline because Dan Campbell's going to go over there.
Yeah, I'm going Lions at 2. But BJ, who's your number 3?
Lions. I just bumped him back because that offense looked really shitty for 3.5 quarters.
Yes.
I just, it was concerning. And Goff was doing a lot of, fuck it, I'm on Ross St. Brown's down there somewhere, and just chucking it. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, check it down.
Just doing a lot of Rex Grossman.
Yeah, exactly.
Dorian, number 3.
Number 3 for me, I am going to choose Pittsburgh.
Russell, who's your 3?
Oh man. Let's see. I mean, I love Pittsburgh. Obviously, that's my team. But I don't know. I feel like I'll probably say the Eagles right now, just because they look pretty good on offense and their defense is pretty stout. So they just have so many weapons.
Their coach is their biggest Achilles heel. He's one of the dumbest coaches in pro football.
So, I mean, he's lucky that Doug Peterson still has a job, or he would be the dumbest coach in the NFL.
Damn. Just over there kicking Dorian.
I got Buffalo at 3. BJ, who's your 4?
I'm going to go with the Steelers. That defense and Russell Wilson giving them enough offense seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah. Dorian, who's your 4?
My 4th is going to be Philly.
Can't do it.
I've got Pittsburgh at 4. Russell, who's your 4?
Hmm. Yeah, I'll take the Steelers next. I had to choose.
BJ, who's your 5?
All right, this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I love them. I'm gonna put the Commanders over the Eagles.
We will find out this weekend. Actually,
We
on
will.
Thursday.
Thursday.
I feel like they're a better team than the Eagles.
So, Dorian, who's your 5?
My 5 is going to be Buffalo.
Russell, who's your 5?
That'd be me too, Buffalo.
I can't put Philly in my top 5. I just can't. I'm going Baltimore. Okay, now the fun part. Trash Badger time.
Oh, my favorite segment.
Yeah, so Russell, I don't know if you're familiar. We picked the bottom 3 teams in the NFL.
Yeah, I think I listened to some of your stuff and y'all do this. I'm familiar with it.
Okay. BJ, worst team in the NFL.
Well, I mean, if it's not the Giants, I don't know who it is. I mean, they let the Panthers get another win. That says enough.
Dorian, worst team.
Pains me to say this, but I'm got to pick my Jaguars. Mac Jones is fucking trash. I knew he was bad. But damn, like he makes Trevor Lawrence's depth perception looks immaculate compared to like he was missing. Oh my god, that interception that he threw to the guy on the Vikings, like totally missed the mark over his head. He didn't have to throw that hard. It's the Jaguars is the worst team in the NFL.
Russell, who's your worst team in the league?
Yeah, I'm saying the Giants, dude. I hate Daniel Jones, man. Can't stand him.
Like he is just so bad. And I thought it was funny last week where Dorian was like, I was like, who's your worst team? New York. Well, I had to ask which one.
Yeah.
BJ, 31.
Panthers. Don't worry, Dorian. Jacksonville's going to be next. It's okay. They'll be on the list.
Dorian, 31. 31 to you.
31 has to be the Giants.
He's just got some real hate towards his own team right now because the Giants got beat by the Panthers. I mean,
They had to
that's personal. That 32 was personal, wasn't it, Dorian? Just admit it.
Like that one hurt. So Russell, who's your 31 team?
I'll say Panthers.
Y'all out here acting like the Raiders don't exist.
I bet they're next. Trust me. They got blown out by the Broncos.
BJ, number 30.
Well, to my knowledge, the Raiders quarterback has never allowed fingers in his ass. So I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Allegedly.
Allegedly my ass.
No, it was his ass.
Correct.
Dorian, number 30.
I gotta go with I gotta go with the Raiders, man. They're in the Shadur Sanders sweepstakes. What I was reading.
Well, that's okay.
Yep.
I think somebody on Get Up or one of the shows was like, Dallas is gonna pick Shador, Travis Hunter, and Dion.
With what draft picks?
Right.
But they have to sell their soul to get that.
Yeah, no shit. That would include trading Micah Parsons.
So, BJ, I'm sorry, Russell, who's your 30?
It'd be Raiders. They got their butts beat by the freaking Panthers by like 2 touchdowns.
The Raiders.
I'm going with Cleveland. I mean, that team is just terrible. I mean,
You don't believe in Jameis?
no!
No, I made the mistake of doing that.
Okay. So our picks last week were not as good as the heaven. Yeah, it was bad. BJ was 7-7 last week. Dorian was 8-6. I was 10-4. BJ still leads 77-57. So
Man, that one hurt.
not a good week.
No.
So This week, they kick it off with the Washington Commanders, a 3-point underdog to the Philadelphia Eagles.
I got the Commanders here. I'm, as the kids say, standing on business.
Dorian,
I want to say the Eagles.
Russell, dude, who you got?
I'm gonna say the Eagles too. I mean, just from watching them yesterday, I mean, it was a good game with them and the Steelers, but I mean, I don't. Jaden Daniels is good, but like just some of the throws, Eagles defense are pretty good too, aren't they? I
Yeah,
think like in the top 10 in rushing defense and passing defense, if I'm correct.
Top number 2 in rush defense.
oh, that's offense you're clicking
Oh,
on.
okay.
Yep.
They're
Yep,
third in
yep,
pass
yeah.
defense and fifth in rush.
I just think Jaden Daniels had a. I mean, he didn't run the ball actually though. I don't think he ran the ball once against the Steelers. That's what I was surprised. He might have ran once, but he didn't get anywhere. But um, yeah, I just see the Eagles with their rush game, but Commanders' rush defense is pretty bad. You got Saquon Barkley. If you can get him running, it's gonna be a hard time.
I'm going the Eagles because I don't think Washington's beaten a team with a winning record yet this season. So, Dorian, I promise this is not me making fun of you. This is Las Vegas. This is the Hard Rock app. The next game is
Holy shit. Holy, that's a college football line.
yeah. Detroit is a 13-point favorite over Jacksonville.
Jeez. Jeez. They're gonna be on. They're gonna be on. They're gonna be in court with Diddy after this game. Golly.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
There's
you guys already know.
semis full of baby oil heading to Detroit right now. God damn.
Yeah.
Detroit's covering that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
baby oil.
Yeah, I'm picking Detroit.
Russell,
Yeah, same. I'm looking at their rushing and passing yards per game. Jacksonville is not good. So
that's being polite, but yes, thank you.
yeah,
They're ranked in the bottom quarter of the league and everything.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I forgot you had the stuff on here. Yeah, it's not good. I think
not good.
Detroit, and
It's
I
not.
don't think Detroit. I don't think Detroit will play twice in a row that bad, having 5 turnovers. That's not going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Goff is gonna
They
have
are
an
giving up a
exceptional game.
shit ton of passing yards, but the Jaguars don't have anybody to throw the ball.
At all.
Yeah, it's a big number, but I think Detroit covers. So Miami is a 7-point favorite over the Raiders.
This is the one the Raiders win. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Tua tried to tackle somebody last week. What a moron!
God, dude.
What a moron! You got sawdust between your ears, and you're out there trying to tackle somebody.
Scary, man.
Golly.
That's crazy.
Dorian, who do you
I'd
got?
just soon he'd drop kick him, take the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, do an unnecessary roughness move. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's fine. Right in the chest.
Dorian, who do you got?
Oh, I got Miami.
Russell?
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah, Miami's playing much better. Okay. Green Bay is a 6-point favorite over Chicago.
Yeah, I got Green Bay. They should be able to win by a touchdown.
Dorian?
Green Bay.
Russell?
Same.
Yeah, unanimous Packers. Chicago's just bad. Okay, Minnesota is a 6-point favorite over the Tennessee Titans.
Low. I'm going Vikings.
Dorian? Vikings? Russell?
Do the Titans have the goofiest quarterback in the NFL?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Mason Rudolph.
No, shit.
I'd-
I'd
Will
rather have
Levis.
Mason Rudolph than Captain Mayonnaise.
Yeah. Wait, who's starting though?
I
I
think
think
Rudolph
Levis is
starting.
back. I
Oh,
thought
Levis is back?
This is actually a hard one though, man. Like watching the Vikings how they played the Jaguars. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week? Because Titans defense is pretty straight. What are they? What first in passing yards it says? 13th in rushing. Man. I might pick Tennessee on that one, to be honest, just to not win the game, but
Beat the spread.
yeah, because their defense is all right, man. But
And that's I'm going because Minnesota has not looked right the past couple
yeah, they
years.
haven't. They haven't.
So
And is Aaron Jones out or is he in still?
he's playing.
Better
Okay.
not be out. I need him.
Oh,
Trying to
okay.
mount a comeback. I just got Christian McCaffrey back.
So
We'll see.
yeah, I think Minnesota wins, but I think Tennessee beats the spread. Okay, the Rams are a 5-point favorite over New England. BJ?
Ooh, Aaron Jones is questionable.
Oh,
Ribs.
And ribs, man.
But he says if he got X-rays, they came back negative, and they feel confident that he'll play. All right, I got the Rams in this one.
Dorian?
Hmm. Rams. The thing about New England is that like they remind me of that scrappy team where you can beat them, but it's like you can't really like let them linger around because they'll do some shit. Next thing you know, it didn't score a touchdown.
It's the NC State of the NFL.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna go with New England. I'm gonna go New England.
Russell.
I'm going LA. I just think I don't know. I think Kyron Williams is really good, and they got all the receivers back, so I don't think they'll lose two in a row like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be close, but I think LA tops the spread late, so I think that's what I'm going with. Okay. Shitty game alert,
God.
BJ. You have to pick this game.
Yeah.
It's the Browns
Okay.
over in the
I'm gonna
Saints.
plug my computer right now. Saints.
Dorian.
I'm going the Saints.
Russell.
Yeah, same. I don't trust Jameis anymore after that one game.
I don't trust
He sold me.
Jameis, and the Saints have looked better with their new
Yeah.
coach. So
hmm
I mean, we'll see. I mean,
And the fact they beat the Falcons, which I mean, the Falcons haven't been bad, but
You know that happens a lot. You can almost bet on an NFL team after they fire a head coach they don't like.
yeah, I think it's Bill Simmons calls it the new coach effect. You always bet the team that has a new coach.
Yeah, you can almost bet. You can almost bet that probably over 90% of the time.
Yep. Okay, the Ravens are a 3.5-point favorite over Pittsburgh. BJ.
Ooh, this could be a game of the week situation here. Man, it's a really good offense against a good defense, and an okay offense against an okay defense. I'm going with the Steelers at home.
Dorian.
Baltimore struggled against Cincinnati and their defensive line. You can imagine how they're gonna struggle against TJ Watt. I'm going to Steelers.
Russell. I'm pretty sure I know who you're gonna pick, but go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Just I think obviously I'm a little biased, but you got TJ Watt. I think what really stinks is freaking Highsmith being out. He's out for a couple weeks since he like twisted his ankle stepping on Jaden Daniels. But they got that kid. I don't know if you know him, Nick Herbig. I think he's coming back. Like he was a rookie last year from Wisconsin. Dude, that dude, I'm telling you right now, is a stud. He just has a motor on him. Like he's just like Alex Highsmith. Just can run him down really fast. But he's back on the end, which will be good on the other side, playing like outside linebacker. But I mean, I think with Russ, they can move the ball. What Ravens pass defense is garbage, correct?
Yep.
So they have good rush defense, but throw it to Pickens. That's what I say.
Throw it to Pickens.
So the bet that I like is I like Baltimore to be leading at halftime, Pittsburgh to win. Baltimore's fourth quarter defense has been god awful. They cannot hold a lead. So I'm going Baltimore to lead the first half, Pittsburgh to win, so obviously Pittsburgh to cover.
And I think just to throw out I think, did I see the last 8 games they played? Pittsburgh's won 7. Is that correct?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And it's at home.
So Falcons playing in Denver. Denver's a 2.5-point favorite.
All right. I don't like this pick, but I'm going with the Broncos in Denver because of the defense. Because the Falcons struggled against a defense that wasn't that special last week.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't like this pick. It's like NyQuil. I know I need it, so I'm going to take it, but I don't like it.
Dorian?
Yeah, I agree, BJ. I'm going with Denver.
Russell?
Yeah, I'll say Denver too. Just because you're playing there at higher altitude and they play in a dome. So,
We'll see.
but also the defense isn't playing that bad.
Yeah, we'll see how Kirk Cousins' arm works in that altitude. So, okay, Seattle is a 6.5-point underdog to San Francisco.
I'm gonna say the Christian McCaffrey effect is real, and I'm going 49ers.
Dorian?
Go with Run CMC and the Niners.
Russell?
Yeah, I'll say San Francisco, but I don't know, man. I think I would probably take the that Seahawks might cover that spread, man, because that's a rivalry, isn't it? I feel like it's always a pretty tough game between those two.
Yeah.
So is what's his face playing? So what's his name? Metcalf?
DK is questionable. He's on my fantasy team, one of my fantasy teams. I have read that they are trying to bring him back this week.
I feel like if he can be in the mix, that might be better. So we'll see though.
They have one of the best receiving cores in the league when they're healthy, between
Oh yeah.
Lockett, Jigba, and Metcalf.
Yeah.
And Seattle always plays San Francisco tight, and San Francisco has not been playing their best ball recently. I'm going Seattle to beat the spread.
Yep.
Okay, this is supposed to be Kansas City. It's Chicago.
I was about to say, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, that's an easy one. Minus 2.5.
So Kansas City is a 2.5-point underdog to Buffalo. The spread is correct.
Kansas City's an underdog to Buffalo.
Yes.
Man. Well, the Bills have had a hard time throwing the football this year anyways. They're in the middle of the pack. Shit. Are these the Chiefs' stats? Do you know this? Because it doesn't look like it.
They are not. I'm trying to fix it right now on the back end.
Okay. I need information for this pick.
Okay. And
Pretty sure the Chiefs' defense is better than the Bears' defense. Oh. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and pick the Chiefs. I don't know. The Chiefs keep finding ways to win football games. And I feel like a team like that's more likely to slip up in a game and lose to somebody you wouldn't expect than to lose to a team they expect to have a good game against.
there we go.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs in Buffalo. Weird, I know.
Dorian.
You bet against Pat Mahomes, man. I'm going with Chiefs.
Russell.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills, man. I think if there's a game to lose, it's going to be this one because I feel like this one's always rough for them too.
So, straight up, Mahomes is 12-1 when he's an underdog. not against the spread. 12-1 when he's an underdog. He has won the game. I'm going
See
Kansas
how
City.
he was hold the information like that until it's time for him to make his pick.
It's
He does that to us all the time.
It's okay.
So Cincinnati is a 1.5 point underdog to the Chargers.
Absolutely not. Well, I don't know. Joe Burrow threw for 5 touchdowns, like 9 touchdowns in 2 weeks, and lost both games, didn't they?
Yep.
Don't get that. Yeah, don't get that twisted, dude. Cincinnati looks good, man. Like their offense looks crazy
But they're
when
still
they're on
losing those
fire.
games. They're still losing those games, though. That's what's
Yeah.
crazy.
But the last game they played, they did well, right? Oh no, who they played? Was it
It
the
was
Ravens?
Baltimore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost with him throwing like 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I thought it was
4
funny.
touchdowns.
Yeah, it was funny online. They were saying like Burrow throws 4 touchdowns and loses. Goff throws 5 interceptions and wins. I don't know what's going on.
That's just a better team in general, like whole team.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. It seems like Harbaugh's kind of put the clamps on Herbert and got his turnovers under control.
Yep. Now here's the question for you, BJ. There are 5 coaches that have won 50 games in college and 50 games in the pros. Do you know who they are?
Barry Switzer's one of them, isn't he?
No.
No. Pete Carroll.
Yep.
Um,
You were close with your first pick, but it was not him.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
That's what I was trying. I know that you're trying to say that. Pete Carroll, Jimmy Johnson.
Barry Switzer.
I know I was wrong on that one. Oh shit!
Wait, 5 coaches that did what?
Won 50 in college and 50 in pros, and I got Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll.
Not Nick Saban, right?
No. God, no.
No.
I don't know. I'm young.
No. Now, are the other 3 from our lifetime?
One is coaching right now.
Ooh,
I will say one just passed
well,
away.
it's got to be Jim Harbaugh.
Yep.
So 2 more.
One just passed away, like yesterday.
John Robinson.
John Robinson.
Jeez.
And the other one you're probably not going to get, it's Bobby Ross.
Cardinals?
I believe so.
He says with a question mark.
So the Chargers.
Chargers. Okay. And was that the Stan Humphries Chargers?
Yes.
But he's not the one who took him to the Super Bowl or the.
Yes, he is. Yes,
he is really.
Yes.
Okay. Who's he a college coach for?
Georgia Tech. So he won a championship at Georgia Tech, and he took the Chargers to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So we'll get back on track. Dorian, who's your pick? Bengals and Chargers.
Got Bengals. Cincinnati.
Russell, who's your pick?
Even though I like the Bengals offense, the Chargers defense has been doing pretty well.
9
So I'll take the
touchdowns.
chart.
9 touchdowns in 2 weeks from Burrow and 2 losses is insane to me.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
That's such a crazy spread. Like that's such a tight spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. But that's the thing. Like Cincinnati's defense isn't that great. Like I mean, look how Baltimore just ran. Like if the Chargers can play defense and their stats show they can, they come to play. They'll do fine.
Yeah, Jesse Minter is a damn good defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
They're the top scoring defense. They're only giving up 13
Yeah, they
14
they
points a
look
game.
good, man.
We
On
said,
D.
it, we said it last year that the Chargers paid a lot for that defense to be shit.
It's a $100 million defense.
Yeah, but now they have a good coach in there, and you see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Colts.
Oh,
are 3.5
Lord.
point
I don't know
underdog.
what to do here. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Like I would avoid picking this game Sunday if I'm going through the app and I'm trying to set up a parlay. I wouldn't pick this game.
No.
2 unpredictable teams.
Like, I don't even know who's going to start for the Colts. I really don't.
I'm going with the Jets just because of the wide receiver core and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the offensive weapons are there. I just don't know what the hell they're doing.
Dorian? Dorian, you got to make a pick.
I'm gonna go with. I picked the Colts.
Okay.
Wow.
Indianapolis.
That was quicker than I expected, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Russell?
Not me. I'll go with the Jets.
I,
They freaking defensive. They're second in passing yards let up.
I,
And
I don't
dude,
like
last
it.
time
Yeah. I don't like the
Joe
run game of the
Flacco,
Jets.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's going
Who,
to throw at least 2 interceptions
dude, he looked that one game. Remember we bet? What was it, like 2, 3 weeks ago? We bet on him. Oh
against the
my gosh,
Vikings.
he
Yeah.
played terrible, terrible. So I said I'm never betting on backups ever again. Can't do it.
And you know what else? Don't ever bet on quarterback rushing yards either.
No.
Because when they go to kneeling down at the end of the game, whew,
Okay. Last game we're going to pick. The Texans are a 7.5-point favorite over the Cowboys.
Texans. Did I
Dorian?
say it fast enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Stroud. Texans.
Russell?
Yep, same thing. Good defense. If Nico Collins is back, which I think he should be, that's going to help a lot too.
Yep. I'm going Texans. Make it unanimous. Okay. So I know we've run long, but I did have Russell on here for a reason. As he alluded to, he played college ball at Georgia Southern,
Yes, that's correct.
and he coaches high school ball now. So I wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit with all of us as to kind of the differences that you saw as a player versus the coach.
Yeah, I mean, it's just as a player, you're not really looking at it from a strategic standpoint in the sense because like you're just every person is just trying to do their job, right? I'm not really worried about if I'm playing linebacker what my safety's doing all the time or like what are the cornerbacks doing. I'm kind of worried about me and the D line in front of me if there's any stunts, what they're lined up in, whatever. But that's the biggest difference with coaching is just kind of have to know everything, right? What everyone's job is. Because in high school, especially, I mean, I'm not like the team I coach for. They're a smaller school. Like there's only like 25 kids on the team. It's getting bigger. We're in the rebuilding phase right now. The head coach at there at St. Andrews came from two really winning programs. One of them being BC, who's really good in the state of Georgia, and they put out a lot of really good D1 FBS athletes. So he knows what to do. So it's been a cool experience for me this year. But yeah, the biggest thing is definitely learning how to manage kids and put them in positions to be able to make plays because they're not all the best athletes, right? I'm not trying to dog on anyone or anything like that, but
No, it's the
that's
truth.
that's what's so different about being a coach is just setting them up for success, no matter how good of an athlete they are. So it's just being smart, and trying to place them in the best positions that they can be to make plays.
That makes sense. I can imagine how difficult it is to try to make guys play above their skill level, I guess,
Hmm.
by thinking for them. I think is what you got to do is you have to think for them and then put that information into their mind is basically what you're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, yeah.
Well, and the thing is, it's just experience, right? So now, like, I played through college. Like, I played in high school. I went to Savannah Christian Preparatory School, and we went to 3 state championships. And our head coach was really good. I think he only lost like 5 games the 4 years I was there.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, so 3 of our years we played 15 games, and then my freshman year we played 12. But yeah, it's a different experience because it's not, especially with a smaller team. It's just teaching them the game of football. Like some of these kids are new to football, right? And then some of them are not football players. Some of them are like basketball athletes, etc. And so just trying to ingrain that into their brains of how to be football players, when it comes to each position, whatever they're playing. Like if you're a DN, learning how to, squeeze down the line if the tackle is going away from you and, spilling and linebackers scraping, cornerbacks playing man coverage or like zone coverage, off the ball, on the ball, like all these different things, right? But I mean, I think in general, it's more than just coaching the strategy of the game. It's teaching them to be, productive men in society as they get older. Teaching them the values that will help carry them through life, right? So you have like teamwork, how to handle adversity, um, just going through the grind every day and learning how to get up, be on time, accountability. So it's fun. That's where I like it because you really see a lot of these kids transform as they get older, as they go from freshman to senior year, and a lot of these kids get better, like as a person themselves, and they do usually do better in the classroom. That's one thing too. You'll see like if they learn all these things in football, it usually carries over in other aspects of their life as well. But yeah, I mean it's definitely different being a player compared to being a coach.
You
So.
said you said there's 25 guys on your team.
Yeah, it's
That
small. It's like,
that defense has got to be smoked at the end of a game.
yeah. Well, you won't believe it. So many people got hurt, man. And that's the thing with our team. Again, they're not all football players, man. They are babies. And that's not me talking trash. They just like they're young. So like they're all freshmen and sophomores for the most part. So it's trying to teach, like I said, ingrain those values that you learn, like how to be tough, right? So and then, but like, everyone was getting hurt. And I think our last game, we literally played with like 12 people. Like
Holy shit!
yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So that's our main, hopefully, head coach talked about it. So they're going out in the city, looking at kids. We got a couple kids already coming. So just, it's different, man. It's different when you go to a team that's been struggling, trying to rebuild a whole program. But we got the people that know what to do. So,
That's awesome. I mean, it's got to be kind of tricky to build a program from the ground up like that.
oh yeah. But we saw a lot of progress. So like, they run the triple option. I know that's a crazy one. You talk
That'd be
about
fun to
SMU
watch.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the quarterback is a freshman, and he's actually really good. But the progress they made from the like beginning first couple of games until like the middle of the season, they got a lot better. Like I'm talking about putting up like 30, 40 points on
Oh,
teams
that's awesome.
running the triple option. So, but it just takes time, right? With anything you do. I mean, look at Nick Saban when he first started. I mean, look at Kirby Smart too when he first started. I think his first season in 2015, they won maybe like half their games almost, or a little
Yeah.
bit more than that. It wasn't great. So it just takes time. That's the biggest thing as a coach. You gotta learn how to be patient and just let things develop. So
Yeah, there's no magic button, that's for sure.
yeah, it's different in that aspect when you're trying to like rebuild a program and build it from scratch essentially.
Why are you guys rebuilding? What happened?
Well, they're not a football school. They're a
Okay.
basketball school,
Okay.
and I think they just haven't been that good. So a lot of people are just like, I don't want to play football.
Oh, so they're just low participation rates.
Yeah, I mean, because they got
Okay.
athletes there. They have athletes playing basketball and like other sports, but again, people don't want to play football if they're not winning all the time.
Yeah, that's unfortunately that's not how life works.
Of course.
You gotta put some effort into it to get to that point.
Well, that goes back
Hmm.
to what you were saying is, the life skills that sports gives you. You
Yeah.
know, especially as you talked about how they came in, they didn't really know a lot, but they put the work in, and they can see the results of that work.
Yep.
Well,
That
we talk about it all the time. Kids these days don't know how to take a loss.
no,
And
No,
the
they
problem
don't.
is in life, you're going to lose a lot more than you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And learning how to accept it, learn from it, and move forward is a skill that people our age were kind of forced to do. Like,
Hmm.
and just a small example, but like, if you were playing a video game and you lost, there was no save point. You went back to the beginning.
Hmm.
I mean, there were borderline meltdowns about that. It's just you gotta.
There, there's one thing I think I talked to Adam about it, but I can tell y'all is one of the best things that ever happened to me, especially in football, because that's what it pertains to. Is so like my first year, I was at Eastern Kentucky, but then I transferred the next semester just because it was basketball school, and I wanted to be closer to home, so I transferred to Southern. So our coach at the head time was Monken, the Army head coach right now, and they're
Okay.
doing pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, when I went, they were going through all this transitional phase, though, right? Like moving up to the FBS. That was when back in like 2013, 14, dealing with all that. Coach Fritz coming in. So I was forced to walk on because I was in talks with some of the coaches, but I was forced to walk on. I remember going out there. I'm thinking, all right, because I trained and stuff. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm good, whatever. So I go out there in the fall, and the first thing they did was just had us run 40s. I remember running 140. I ran one, and they said, nope. They were just like, nope, not fast enough.
Oh damn.
So to me, I was just like, all I knew was football, right? I did well in school. I went to a good school, but football has been something that was really important to me. I played since I was 7. I was coming from like winning three, or not winning, but like going to 3 state championships, winning my senior year, undefeated, playing in the Georgia Dome for that. It was really fun. But then going to that and transferring and then trying out and being told, no, you're not good enough. Like I went home and cried and everything. I was like upset. But then like something that night just clicked in my head. I was like, man, okay, you can either give up or you can do everything you can to get yourself better. So it just lit a fire into me. So then from then on out, I was doing everything. I was in the gym. I was talking to the athletic trainers in the rec center at Georgia Southern. They were helping me with mobility. I was in the pool doing sprints, like all kinds of stuff. I was out in the field doing, like, all the football drills, cone drills, had like a bungee cord for sprints, like doing everything I could to the point where I remember sitting down in the cafeteria talking with some of my buddies that played football there. And one of my best friends, he actually played for the Colts. I don't know if you heard of that when it happened back in 2017. His name was Edwin Jackson. He got hit by a drunk driver and got killed. He played for the
The
Colts.
name sounds familiar. Was he defensive
Yeah,
back?
he was a linebacker.
Linebacker. Okay.
Edwin Jackson. And he was like the best linebacker at Georgia, their best defensive player at that time. But he overheard me. This is how we became friends. He overheard me talking about it. And uh, he was like, man, you're doing all this stuff out there? Because I was telling my buddies about it. And then he ended up coming out there and started doing the drills with me. And so I'm out there we're doing just me and him doing agility drills, football drills, feet work, whatever it may be. And I'm doing them just as good as he is. And he's like the best player on defense. And it really put it in perspective to me, like, man, like this stuff is really paying off. Because this was like 5 months later, like when it was the end of their season. So he was able to come out there and do stuff with me.
Hmm.
And so anyway, so that really boosted my confidence. And then, I'm doing everything I can to get better. And then in that March, I go out and try out again. And I was like, well, I did everything I possibly could. And then I go out there and I just remember I ran the 40. This was with Coach Fritz and their coaching staff now. And the coach like looked back at me after my first 40 and was like, yeah, that was good. So then my confidence was through the roof. We did like the linebacker drills and stuff. And yeah, it was to the point where the kids were like, dude, what did you do? Like, you're balling out here, you know? So like I'm on cloud nine. Next day they call me, you made the team. And it was to the point where my dad was like, man, don't be disappointed if you don't make it because they're going to be FBS now, blah, blah, blah. I'm just not trying to hear any of that. But then, yeah, the next day they called me and said, yeah, we want you to play. So ended up playing with them. And I never like started, but I like rotated in a lot and played a lot of special teams just because, it's a walk on. It's hard, man. It's a hard life.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but that situation right there was probably one of the best things that could have ever happened to me, right? You're put in a situation to where you're told you're not good enough, you're not big enough, you're not fast enough, whatever it may be. But then it's really up to you at the end of the day, correct?
Yeah.
Like, how do you handle that situation, right? When you're told you stink or you're a failure, et cetera. And so that's what kids just have to learn these days, man. Like, you can't let people dictate the outcome of what you want to be, right? Because I mean, I lived through it. I went through it. I had people tell me, no, I'm not, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough to do that, and then I proved them wrong. But I maybe realized you might think you're doing enough to be successful or to get to where you want to be, but until you realize actually, like, or you have like some failure in your life or have some setbacks, that's when you truly realize, like, man, there's a lot more I could be doing. So yeah, that situation is what I kind of explain to kids a lot of time, especially through coaching. It's like, look, man, I've been there. Like, I promise you, y'all can be good players, y'all can have winning seasons, but you just have to put the effort in.
And at the
And
very least, you can be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it carried over in my life,
right.
just with a lot of things I've done because I've been successful. Right now, I'm changing careers. Like my dad has a big real estate company in Savannah. I did nursing and went to the healthcare field, did travel stuff, and now I'm changing into that. So it's like a whole new ball game. But it's like I'm ready to grind because like I'm
You,
about to get married in January.
oh, congratulations.
So yeah, I appreciate that.
Are
And
you
so
say you're going into real estate?
yeah, my dad has a big real estate appraising, he's consultant business down here.
Oh,
He does
awesome.
very, very well. So, but it's just that mindset though of like, man, I got to do this, got to grind, got to put in the effort, and I'll be fine. So
Yeah, sure.
again, it carries over through life. Like it's just not a sport thing, but that's why like sports. I feel like sports are just so good for kids in general, man, because it
Absolutely.
teaches you a lot of life lessons that people don't know. So
For sure.
And I see it with my daughter. She started playing volleyball 3 years ago, and she, was in sixth grade, and it was the first year her school even had a team. First time they got into the played a game, it looked like they'd never seen a court before. Like they were down 15-0 before anything could even happen, before they even returned a serve. This year, because they put the work in, because they tried, they did everything they could. County semifinals.
yeah,
That's awesome.
good.
And she came to me and she was like, because I did all of this, I know I can do basically anything.
Yeah, that's good, man. Just a mindset, right?
Yep.
I mean, like again, it doesn't have to be like sports either. I mean, sports are good, but it could be anything like music, whatever it may be.
Anything that challenges
Yeah.
Yeah.
your
Hmm.
natural abilities to become more than what you naturally have.
I
Hmm.
find that sports has that natural kind of controlled learning losing experience.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's the competition sprinkled in with it.
Yes.
Like in other areas, you can work to be better, but there might not be as the competition aspect as much, or it might not be perceived as competition. And then when you go to sports, there's just competition. That's what we're
There's
here
a
for.
score.
Yeah, it's win or
What we're here
lose,
for,
right?
win or
There's
lose.
no other outcome.
And there, what I like about good coaches is they teach you there's something to learn in everything. Just because you won the game doesn't mean there's nothing we don't have anything to talk about. We still have stuff to talk about.
Yep.
There's stuff you can improve on. I'm going to commend you for everything you did do, but I saw a couple things we need to talk about. And that's what I like about good coaching is that there's never a teaching moment lost. Like Mike Tomlin said, he said he loves coaches that run from their job. He goes, when I hear somebody talk about a coach saying, "Well, this guy has bad hand placement," that's coaching.
Mm.
He goes, I run to coaching, and that's why that guy's had a job so long.
And that's why he's 12th, I believe, in all-time wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
He's never been below 500
Yeah, he doesn't back
since he's
down.
been head coach.
He doesn't back down from a teaching moment, because that's what coaches are essentially, as teachers. And if you don't want to teach, you're in the wrong profession. If you just think guys are going to come into your system and be what you need every play, that's irrational. You have to teach them what they need and what you need from them, and help them get their knowledge base to where you need it to be. And that's one of the reasons I have so much respect for Mike Tomlin.
Well, it goes to show you too, like, I think Russell Wilson's a prime example, right? Like you look at someone who played for a Super Bowl team, did well, then went to Denver, and then it was just like, what happened?
Basically on the trash heap.
Yeah,
Basically.
and that's what people don't understand either. Like it could be coaching, it could be him fitting into that scheme and those what those coaches want. It just didn't mesh well. And then I was with the Steelers, and he's only played a couple of games, but he's doing a lot. He's doing well.
Same thing with Sam
You know.
Darnold.
Hmm. Yeah,
Sam Darnold was basically written off.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's an important thing in sports for sure.
and we've alluded to that
So,
with Russ a couple times about how when he was in Denver, his coach didn't want him there. His coach did not know how to use him. He goes to Pittsburgh. I'm basically like, hey, this is my last shot. Mike Tomlin knows how to use them, proves to Russ that he wants him there, and you see the results.
mhm.
You
Well,
can
that's
say
the
the
thing.
same.
Like I don't. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
My bad.
no. I was gonna say you can say the same thing about DeAndre Hopkins. They wrote him off.
Mhm.
They say people go to Tennessee to die in Jacksonville. Another story. But now he's with the Chiefs, and now all of a sudden, Andy Reid is giving him his confidence, putting him in scheme, things of that nature.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
not to harp on it, but Dan Campbell. That's all Dan Campbell's thing is.
Yeah,
Is give me the misfit toys. They can play for me.
yeah.
I mean,
He's hell of a motivator, man.
yeah,
'Cause, like,
we joked when Goff went there. You know, I believe my exact words were Detroit needs Goff to be not terrible.
I think I was the one that was okay with Goff being there. If you can go back and check, because you would probably know about when that episode was. But I thought it was going to be okay, so I'm taking credit for that one.
Yeah,
I will.
but no one wanted Goff. No one really wanted Amon St. Brown. You know,
Because we don't have a whole lot of real coaches anymore.
no.
right.
That's been and one of my biggest examples is AAU basketball.
Mhm.
Those kids don't learn shit,
No.
nothing, and that's why these European guys are coming over here and dogging them out when they get to the league.
And Dorian, I think you're the one that said about AAU here versus basketball overseas, about how they play 7 games here with 1 practice, and overseas they practice 7 times with 1 game. The games are more meaningful, and I experienced that with my daughter's volleyball. Okay, her school practices, they practice like 2 or 3 times a week. They have 1 game a week, and that shit is intense. Like literally, there was 1 match that lasted 2 hours because every point was a fucking battle.
That's
Her
awesome.
club
That'd
team?
be fun to watch.
Oh, it was a phenomenal match to watch. And I didn't get into volleyball until she was. I mean, like, this thing was fantastic. Her
Wait a
club.
second. Wait a second. You don't watch beach volleyball in the Olympics?
Okay, so once every 4 years.
Well, that's a good time to watch volleyball. Those Brazilian girls come out there. Whoo boy.
He's married, man.
This is a safe space, guys.
Look but don't touch, touch but don't enjoy. So, but her club team, they play 3 games in one day. And if they win, cool. If they lose, whatever. That doesn't instill this point matters.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, if you're just blowing teams out.
yeah. That's what I think gets lost is playing a team that's equally matched and having to go through adversity for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like this, and that's one of the reasons I always sound like a homer when I'm talking about SEC football. You could lose any week. Any week, your championship hopes could be derailed. You have to come out in the SEC with the mindset of, don't screw this up.
I mean, we saw that the early 2000s when Oklahoma and USC were running through the Big 12 and the Pac-12. They would go up against the SEC teams in the BCS title game and get fucking smoked.
Because they haven't been tried.
Yeah.
Exactly. There has to be some adversity. You have to overcome adversity. And usually one instance isn't going to do it. And that's why I don't like when NFL teams go 15 or 16-1. I don't like it. I don't think you're going to the Super Bowl. And if you do, I don't think you're winning it. I'll put money in that you won't. Because you need to be tested. You need to be punched in the face. You need to have teaching moments where the coaches can walk into these professionals and say, how'd that feel? Not good, did it? We have things we have to work on. And I just feel like that's so big. I don't ever trust 15, 16-1 teams. I just don't trust them.
I mean, the 2 teams I can remember, obviously the Patriots when they were 18-0, and then the Packers when they went 15-1 in the regular season. And that's the game that you always allude to, that Brandon Jacobs just broke
Charles Woodson, and they refused to tackle the rest of the game.
Yeah. Like, you need those teaching moments.
It's not just the teaching moments. You need to be kicked in the face and go through that rebuilding process through the next week or whatever the interval is in between your next game. You have to go through that rebuilding process of like, yeah, we do some good things, but they exploited this.
Yep.
Well, that's why
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was saying that's why the Patriots were so good with Brady. I mean, dude, imagine being down 28-3 in the Super Bowl going into the half. you don't come back and win that just because, man. They've been through it, right? They've been to championships, they've been through losses, and so they knew how to make changes. Again, we talk about adversity, but you know, to be able to handle that type of pressure is just wild and win the game in the Super Bowl. You want to talk about extreme adversity? That's some of the top right there when it comes to
Yeah.
sports. So,
Well, that's why I like the Chiefs so much, is because we talked about it earlier. The fact that they've gone through so many things already this season, not being able to run the football, not passing the balls they should, and here they are 10-0. But I would still hope they lose 2 or 3 games before they get to the playoffs. I just feel like it would make them a better team. It doesn't sound logical, but I really think it would make them a better team to hit a couple speed bumps.
what's their schedule toward the end? Because they play Steelers Christmas. I know that.
Ooh,
But I mean, just depends on their schedule too. Like the Steelers schedule is tough, man. They got Eagles, Ravens a few times. Bengals, of course, is always tough. But they got the Eagles and the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
I mean, luckily they beat Washington. That was their first hunt, but they got a lot more to go.
Well, and here's the problem with the Chiefs. We just talked about. Okay, they play at Buffalo this week. Their schedule is cupcakes.
well,
Panthers,
for a
Raiders,
little bit.
Chargers gonna be good.
Mhm.
Solid. Then they finished the season with straight solid defenses. Now the Browns defense is going to be smoked because they can't stay on the field offensively. But
Yeah.
Chargers defense, Texans defense, Steelers defense, Broncos defense. That's a fight. They're going to lose 2
And
of
we
those
already
games.
saw what just happened to the Broncos game there, and it's at Denver.
Yeah, they're going to lose 2 of those games.
Well, especially if they have, and this is something I don't agree with. They're probably gonna have the number 1 seed locked up by the time they get to the Steelers game.
I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it.
because you're not really firing at all cylinders.
But maybe it's different for a team that has multiple Super Bowl victories and has kept a core together. That may be different for them. But it wasn't for the Patriots.
No. If you remember that, yeah, the year they were 18-0, they almost lost to the Giants the last week of the season.
And then what? They did.
Then they did lose to the Giants.
That was the David Tyree catch, wasn't it?
Yep, that was the helmet catch.
And then was it 2 or 3 years later was the Manningham pass on the sideline?
Yeah.
One of the best balls ever thrown in a Super Bowl. It was.
Oh yeah.
That pass on the sideline, safety coming over the top of the cornerback, just out of bounds where only Manningham could touch that.
And I want to say that was I know that was Tyree's last catch. And I want to say that was Manningham's last catch as a NFL player.
I don't know. It was absolutely amazing, though. That's why I will not ever tolerate Eli Manning hate.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl.
He won 2.
Yeah.
He's the only reason the Patriots don't have 10.
Yeah. And somehow, one of these days, someone's going to explain to me how Nick Foles and Dougie P won a Super Bowl over the Patriots.
The game plan was so stupid, Bill Belichick couldn't comprehend it.
It's like playing chess and someone that's like this dumbass opening movie. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just throws your whole game off.
The whole game off now. Now you don't know what's coming. And next thing you know, the quarterback's catching a touchdown pass.
Yeah. So it's getting late. So Russell, anything else you want to add from a coaching
I'm good,
perspective?
man. I appreciate y'all having me on. Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
That was a good time. Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Well,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sandlot Sports.